Well, good Thursday night, New York Jet fans and NFL fans. It is October 20th, 2022, 10:30 p.m., and this is the takeoff. Week 7 of the NFL has begun. Thursday night football. One of the better games on Thursday night as the Arizona Cardinals are leading the New Orleans Saints in Arizona 28-17. About a minute and a half to go, third quarter. So week 7 is underway. Locally in sports, Yankees are down to their final three outs in Game Two against Houston Astros, and down 3-2. Um, and if they drop this game, they're down 2-zip in the best of seven, going back to the Bronx on Saturday. They had to steal one of these two games. I thought last night was their best chance to steal one. Verlander was throwing. I think he exceeded 100 pitches, if I'm not mistaken. He was at 50 something in the third inning. They couldn't take advantage. Um, they gave up bombed home runs. They just cannot stop the power of Houston. Houston, pound for pound, is a better team, I think. Um, and the Yankees have not played small ball. The 7 games that they've been in the playoffs this year, the 5 versus the Indians, these 2 now against Houston, and you just can't win on just home runs alone. Eventually, that will catch up to you. So hopefully, the Yankees can turn that one around. Maybe steal this one tonight in the ninth inning or later, but right now it looks very bleak for them. Also, NBA started last night. Knicks and the Nets, I believe, were in action these past 2 nights. Um, Tonight, the Rangers hosted San Jose at the Garden. Um, the ex-coach Quinn came back. He's a new coach for San Jose, and the San Jose Sharks, who did not win a game all season in this young season, beat the Rangers at home on MSG Ice, 3-2 in overtime. Rangers played very undisciplined. With 4 minutes left, it was tied at 2. Rangers go on a power play, and less than 30 seconds into the power play, they wound up getting a penalty against them. Also, my cousin Richie reported from the Islander game that they're giving him agita, so I can only imagine what they did tonight. So, like I said, week 7 is underway. You have the Jets on a 3-game winning streak. You have the Jets at 4-2. I had them at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2-4 at this point. They flipped it. I'm glad they proved me wrong. 2 games that I thought they would lose, I had them down as losses, is where they flipped me: Pittsburgh and Green Bay. And now they're going in to face Denver, where Denver is always tough to play in Denver. But this year, with Russell Wilson there, it's not been the same Denver team. Russell Wilson playing very below average. The team not really playing well. I think they've lost the last 2, if I'm not mistaken. Um, they're not putting points on the board. I don't think they've hit inside 20 points in a certain amount of games. They are right there. The Jets, last 3 wins, the last 2 performances, Miami and Green Bay, the Jets offense is putting up points, 40 and 27 in each. 40 versus Miami, of course, 27 against Green Bay in Green Bay. They can go into Denver and beat it. So when you're on a 3-game winning streak and you're 4-2 and your team is winning, what do? You ask for a trade. Elijah Moore, after the game on Sunday, where he wasn't targeted once, responded to a tweet by one of the Jet beat writers, and it's a beat writer I cannot stand. I feel like the beat writer, most of them, not all of them, actually enjoy writing about the negative than the positive. It's always, a laughing matter, a joking matter. And I've gone over this in my videos. If I had their job, maybe because I'm a fan, I'd appreciate it more. I'd try to be more objective. They're not objective. They just take the negative and then pound it into the ground. Like the fans are not smart enough to understand what's going on. But anyway, Elijah Moore was not targeted. This beat writer pointed it out. Elijah Moore actually responded to the tweet in a sarcastic way. It was addressed the next day, and the coaching staff just said, hey, mistakes happen and whatnot. As the days went on, you could see that there was some animosity in the locker room between Elijah and the team. And today, Elijah was sent home from practice. Now, the official report from Coach Sala is Elijah had family matter to take care of, and he took a personal day. Rumors coming out of Florham Park, which have been reported on Twitter. I don't know how accurate they are, but they are from beat writers, or that the Jets wanted to kind of calm the situation down, sent Elijah home uh, to, I guess, relax a little bit, get his thoughts in check, maybe get his mindset. Well, in that time, Elijah tweeted out a few things like, "I love my teammates. Um, God will direct me to the right place," and something else. But a few of those tweets have come down. He has then since asked for a trade. This is my problem. This is my problem, and I'm going to use Keyshawn Johnson as um, as an example. Back in 95, 96, the Jets were not good. 3-13, 1-15 on the Rich Coat tight. Keyshawn was the number one pick overall at a USC. Um, I want to say in 96. I think it was 96. I'm not sure if it was 95 or 96. And of course, Wayne Corbett was on the team about a year or so, and he was the hometown hero. Came from New Jersey, went to Hofstra, was a walk-on. There's a little bit of nothing of a guy who made this team as, like, I think it was sixth on the depth chart as a receiver, became Mr. Third Down. Keyshawn came, from California, USC, number one pick overall, and the team is losing, and he writes the book, Just Give Me the Damn Ball, where he speaks of how bad the franchise is. He speaks of how bad, the culture is. He speaks of how Wayne Corbett is just a mascot. He speaks of how, Joe Namath is from the 60s and should have no relevance on the team. And basically, listen, I don't know if it was Keyshawn. I don't know if it was his agent, but Keyshawn, in the midst of a dumpster fire, just added gasoline to it. Keyshawn and Corbett, from that point on, you could see there was some animosity there, mostly on Keyshawn's point. Corbett and Keyshawn went about their business, though, up until 2000 when Bill Parcells traded Keyshawn to Tampa Bay. And, there was a whole, I'm a star and he's a flashlight, and Keyshawn wound up getting negative 1 yards or 1 yard in the Tampa Bay Jet game, and Corbett wins with a halfback option pass from Curtis Martin that kind of fluttered up there, and Corbett jumps up and grabs it and comes down, and Corbett again is the underdog that wins. When you're 1-15, 3-13, and there's a superstar and you're being underutilized, yeah, they're going to say things. They're going to want to come off the team. But he was a rookie. He was not going to be traded. The Jets had put their first round pick into that. And once Bill Parcells came in here and kind of molded what he wanted out of his offense with Vinny and Curtis and all that, Keyshawn and Corbett were a great tandem, and they fed off each other. It could have made, or it couldn't really make a 1-15 and a 3-13 season worse. Keyshawn just put another distraction there. Elijah Moore, to me, makes Keyshawn look like the Pope, and I'll tell you why. First of all, you're 4-2. Your first 3 games you played, you had your backup 38-year-old quarterback, okay, and they stole one. Let's be honest, and I kept saying this. They had the perfect storm against Cleveland, and they stole one in Cleveland, okay? In those games, Garrett Wilson was the main target for Joe Flacco. Okay. Zach Wilson comes in, and Garrett gets less catches, and all of a sudden it's Corey Davis getting the passes. Each quarterback will always have their go-to guy, and good quarterbacks will spread it around. Last week, I think Garrett had 2 catches, Corey had a few catches, Breece Hall had a ton of catches out of the backfield. I believe he had over 100 yards receiving, plus 93 yards on the ground, or something to that effect. To come out and say these things is just selfish. You're winning. At 4-2, you're winning. And on Twitter, one of the people I follow, and I forgot who it was, said it was a former Jet, I believe, said you're 6 games in, there's 11 games left. There is plenty of time for you to get the ball. And I know playmakers want the ball, athletes want the ball, superstars want the ball. Gene Hackman in the replacements. Superstars want the ball. In crunch time. You'll get it. But now you just made a distraction. Okay. I read another tweet. And because I have all these thoughts going through my head, I read another tweet where it was a shout out to Denzel Mims, where it said Denzel asked for a trade. They didn't give it to him. He has not played in one regular season game yet, but yet you have not heard a peep out of him. You haven't heard a peep out of him. Why? They're 4-2. And maybe he's just waiting for his time. Maybe they told him something. But what Elijah Moore did to me, just, you know what? You're being selfish. And I have read, well, he's a baller and he wants the ball. Yes, he wants the ball, but you made it public. And now you ask for a trade. So, you know what? If the Jets want to trade him, get as much as you could for him or sit him. Okay? I don't want to say send him to, a bottom ranked team because you may not get the value for him that you would if you sent him to a better team. I'm not saying punish him, but if he wants to go and he doesn't want to be here, go. They're 4-2. If he doesn't want to be there and they're 4-2 and can very likely start making a run, then he's not going to want to be here when there's tough times. Okay? And to me, that's just a terrible, terrible way to go about business. Everybody says, oh, the owners this and owners that. It takes both sides to uphold the contract. He's asking for a trade. To me, it's no different than, just any other athlete who's not getting their way, who's not the superstar. Okay? You are 4-2. You were predicted, my cousin Mike sent this to me, they were predicted, I believe, bottom 5 of the league in the preseason. After the loss to Baltimore in week 1, they were predicted 30th in the league. You know what? They're in the top 10 now. Top 10. Can you imagine? 4-2, the first time over 500 since 2015. And I don't even want to tell you all the predictions that I'm seeing on different NFL outlets. But that's that. So it's ironic that I speak of Keyshawn today and the Denver Broncos because Keyshawn Johnson's first game he ever played for the Jets in the regular season was against the Broncos. I think he had one catch, and his one catch came late in the game, and it was for 50 yards. And that game, we got blown out, and that was just typical Rich Kotite era. I do have some Denver Bronco memories. First of all, the first time I ever met players outside of a game was after a Bronco game. It was the Dennis Byrd game when Dennis Byrd came back and walked on the field less than a year after getting injured against Kansas City the year before. I believe this was the 93 season or the 94. I think it was the 93 season. I met Sterling Sharp or Shannon Sharp. I forgot which. I think it was Shannon Sharp who played for Denver. And Willie Oceanen, who was a defensive player signed by Game Day magazine or whatever it was. And I also got Dennis Bird's autograph that day. Jets lost to them. Following year, opening day again, Jets, Broncos, and Elway was always a gunslinger. And, we were going back and forth. It was Boomer Esiason, and I can still remember Elway got picked off by Mo Lewis, and Mo Lewis brought it back like 50 yards for a touchdown. The game wound up being tied, and in overtime, Boomer hit Art Monk, and Art Monk brought us into field goal range, and Nick Lowry, not Mike Lowry from Bad Boys, but Nick Lowry, kicked the field goal, and the Jets went 2-0. They had won in Buffalo the week before under Pete Carroll, and they beat the Broncos at the home opener in overtime. That's what I remember about Denver. Of course, you want to talk Denver, you can talk about the 1998 AFC Championship game where they went to Mile High. It was Elway's last game in Mile High. The winds were swirling. Parcells had the team ready. Curtis Martin, scored the touchdown. I remember the first drive, Vinny just down the field, Keyshawn, Corbett, Martin, and then Hall missed a field goal. At the half, it was, I believe, 10-0, third quarter, less than 30 minutes left. And then everything just went downhill. Elway became Elway. The winds kicked up. Keith Byers was fumbling. I think Curtis Martin fumbled. I think Curtis Martin had like 13 yards on the ground. And the Jets, of course, don't make the Super Bowl after having the Broncos up against the ropes for about 2.5 quarters. Since then, the Broncos-Jets rivalry, or whatever you want to call it, has been up and down. Both teams have been rebuilding. The Broncos had Tim Tebow. The Jets had Tim Tebow. It hasn't been the way it was back in the 90s. But those are what I remember from the Jets and the Broncos playing each other from games I was at and games I watched on TV. So what I'm going to do is give you my predictions for the Jet game. Then I'm going to show you what I predicted for the rest of the league. So first of all, I think Elijah Moore aside, the Jet team is really starting to get confident. I think the coaching staff is getting confident. I think the defensive players are feeding into the game plan. I think the defensive coaches are giving plays to their dogs, the defensive plays the dogs up front, and they're starting to click. On offense, Zach has managed the games, and I said this earlier in my video this week. Zach was not picked, number 2 overall, number 2 overall, I believe he was, or number 3 overall, first round to be a game manager. He's there to be a game changer. But he's only played 17 games in his career over 2-year season, over 2-year period. So he will get there. This past Sunday, he wasn't asked to do much, but when he was asked to do something, he did it. He hit 10 of 18 passes. Hit downfield when he had to. Did he make some mistakes? Yes, but he's still, theoretically, still a rookie. So I need to see Zach make a few more plays this week. Denver has not shown me anything where they are world beaters on defense. So I think we could, go up against them. Breece Hall, I think they'll be targeting Breece Hall a lot more this week, the Denver defense, that is. That may open up the opportunities for Garrett, for Corey Davis, and if Elijah Moore is playing. At this point, we don't even know if he's going to be active. Maybe they move up Denzel Mims. I don't know. But I think overall, the Jets match up a lot better against the Broncos. And I think they have a very good chance of winning this game. They just have to keep their foot on the gas. I made the statement, Saleh said all gas, no brakes. And I said, if you're all gas, no brakes, eventually you can hit a brick wall. So I don't believe in all gas, no brakes. I believe in not playing conservative, but playing smart. And I think the coaching staff is starting to evolve. I'm not going to say they made that turn on the corner yet. I'm not going to say the team as a whole made that turn. But there's something about now the way they reacted, after beating Miami, the way they reacted now going into Green Bay. And I just think that the confidence level now is there. And they are a young core group. And that's what makes it even more disappointing with Elijah Moore, because he could be part of this core. Keep your mouth shut, do your job, and your number will be called. That's the way I feel. Just an update, fourth quarter, 35-17, Arizona is up. And I don't even want to look, but I'm going to take a look now. 3-2, top of the ninth, 1 out. And Torres is up. The number 5 hitter for the Yankees is up. So I'm going to leave this on. The spread in this game for the Jets-Denver is the Jets getting 1. So that leads me to believe that if this game was played here at MetLife, and it's 2 outs now in the ninth, this leads me to believe that if this is being played at MetLife, the Jets would be favored by 2 points or so. They always say at home the home team is favored by 3. Well, Denver is giving 1, so I would think that the Jets are favored by 2 or 3. And Houston's ready to explode here. Um, Trying to see who's up. It's a number 6 hitter. They're going against Presley, who is the pitcher now for Houston. But anyway, I have the Jets. First of all, take the 1 point. The Jets are going to win outright. If I had a bet with my head, um, I say Jets win. The points don't matter. Jets win 23-17 if they get to 17. I'm going to say 17 because the Jet defense could sometimes slip up, and Russell Wilson is due. If I had a bet with my heart and what I truly feel, I think it's Jets 27. I'm going to say 27-17. So that's my pick for the Jets. This is my picks. I picked 3 games for the rest of the NFL, and these are them right now. Okay, so these are my predictions, my picks for this week. This is not something I'm giving advice on to bet. This is if I was betting what I would do. So Cleveland at Baltimore, of course. Baltimore is the former Browns. Baltimore's had a tremendous amount of success after leaving Cleveland. They are giving the Browns a 6.5. I think Baltimore wins. After losing that heartbreaker to the Giants, they're bouncing back at home, 31-13. Chargers and Seattle at Los Angeles. Seattle is getting 6. I think the Chargers win the game outright. I think Tito Smith keeps the game close enough. And Chargers win 28-23, but I like Seattle getting to 6. Kansas City last week disappointed me. I wanted them to beat Buffalo to help out the Jets. Kansas City on the road in San Fran. They are giving San Fran 3.5. I still think Kansas City covers 34-21. So I'm taking Baltimore minus 6.5. Seattle plus 6. Kansas City minus 3.5. And of course, as I said earlier, Jets getting the 1. I think they went outright 27-17. I forgot what the score was, but I think Denver gets up to about 17 points, maybe 20. But the Jets put up a 27-point mark and continue their winning streak. So those are my picks. And good luck to everybody. Again, this is not to give anybody advice on betting. So there you have it. Those are my picks. Again, this is not for advice for you to go and bet. This is just my picks, personal picks. If I were going to bet this week, that's what I'd be betting on. So it's a big weekend again for sports in New York. Saturday, ALCS Game 3 comes back to the Bronx. The Yankees are they're 3-1 now on the count to Donaldson. So let's see if they continue that. You have that. You have Monday. You have I'm sure basketball and hockey over the weekend. Sunday starts off 1 o'clock in Jacksonville. Giants visit Jacksonville, and what a story for the Giants. Props to them. They're 5-1. I'm not even going to give a prediction on this game because I try to stay away from picking the Giants because I don't want to sound like a hater or a homer, even though, like I always said, they're not a rival to us. Then at 4:05, you had Jets in Denver, and then at 7 o'clock, it could be the elimination game if the Yankees don't win tonight or on Saturday. And it's 3-1 pitch now, and it's a 3-2 pitch. And wow, Donaldson was on his way to first base thinking it's a walk, and now they're down to their final strike. So that's this weekend. Listen, if you go down to Denver, and I know a lot of groups are going out to Denver like they did to Lambeau, like they did in Cleveland, like they did in Pitt, send us your pictures. We'd love to see them. You can email us at thejets.takeoff@gmail.com. We're on Twitter at thejets.takeoff as our Twitter handle. The 3-2 pitch, and they walked him, so the inning will extend. You have our Facebook page is called The Takeoff. And of course, you can always follow my video blog here. It's The Takeoff, Alex Marziali. You can Google it. Subscribe to it. You can get alerts whenever I release a video. I try to do at least 2 videos a week, if possible. Schedules don't conflict. Usually it's Monday after the game, of course, or the day after the game, and Thursday during the Thursday night game or Friday, depending on the schedule. Tonight, I just had the opportunity, so that's why I'm doing this one. Check us out. Send us your pictures. Send us what you think. Send us what you think about Elijah Moore. Tweet us. Follow us. This is for the fans. We don't want to make this a bitch fest. We don't want to make this a just wearing the green sunglasses type thing. This is reality, realistic fans speaking about the team, about the atmosphere. From what I heard, the fans in Green Bay were very hospitable. They were very cool to hang out with. Um, and you know, let us know how you feel. So the Yankees down to their final strike, man on first. Carpenter is up. Um, it's an 0-2 count. Top of the ninth, 3-2 Houston. And like I said, the Yankees had a take last night or tonight. They're going to fall short, it looks like, again. The 0-2 pitch coming up. I'm going to keep it here. Obviously, by the time you see this, you're going to know the way this ends. But just want to report this as it's happening. Pitcher, Presley, is going into his windup. And it's a low ball one. So it's 1-2. So the 1-2 pitch now coming from Presley. Runner goes. Oh, wow, and they just said he struck out. And that was a check swing. I can't believe it. Wow. I'd like to see the replay on this. It doesn't matter. You really can't challenge it. Um, the Astros remind me of the Yankees of the 90s and early 2000s. They just have this swagger about them. I do like Dusty Baker. I'm not a fan of the Astros, though. And I'm not even going to get into, the last years that they played. But listen, they have the Yankees number. I'd really love to see this check swing. I'm going to see if they show the replay. But the Yankees are a team that they're just not producing. If they're not hitting a home run, they're not scoring. They're not moving runners over. And here's the swing. Wow. I guess you could call that a swing. I guess. And it was funny because the batter pointed to third base to get the call. So the Yankees have a mountain to climb now. They're down 2-0. They have Cole going Saturday. One of these 2 games in Houston, I thought was a must win. Yankees can't lose anymore. They can't. Even if they win the next 2, they can't go down and face an elimination game. This team is just too good, and the Yankees are just not scoring the way they should be. So anyway, this is the takeoff. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend, a safe weekend, a healthy weekend, a blessed weekend, whichever you call it. Have a great time. Hopefully on Monday we'll have some good news about local sports, New York sports, especially our Jets, Jets, but also the Yankees. Whatever the Giants do, the Rangers, the Islanders. If you're a Devil fan, the Knicks and the Nets. Sports is in full swing right here. But the way this looks, Sunday, there may be one less team, continuing their season if games go the way these are going. And just a rumor. This is nothing set in stone. This is nothing. This is just something I heard, and I'm just going to say it. And if it comes true, it did come from me. If the Yankees, first of all, they said if the Yankees lost to Cleveland, and I'm sorry I'm getting off track, but if the Yankees lost to Cleveland, Cashman was going to either resign or be fired, and Boone was going to be fired. If they don't get past Houston, I still think Cashman goes. I think Cashman's time here is done. And the rumor right now is Theo Epstein and Don Mattingly. Theo as president of the team, and Don Mattingly as, I believe, the coach. We shall see um, if that happens or not. I'd love to see the Yankees continue, but right now their backs are against the wall. They are in every game is an elimination game right now. So again, have a great week. Go Jets, and let's continue this winning streak.